Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, September 5, 2024. Both the goods producing and services industries recorded minimal growth in the April to June quarter of 2024. The Planning Institute of Jamaica PIOJ is projecting that, for the period, the goods producing industry grew by an estimated 0.7% and the services industry by 0.1%. Director General of the PIOJ, Dr. Wayne Henry, gave the update during the agency's quarterly media briefing on Wednesday. He says overall, the economy remained relatively flat, recording an estimated growth of 0.1% compared with the corresponding April to June quarter of 2023. According to Dr. Henry, the limited growth in comparison to 2023 largely reflects a normalization of performance for most industries after last year's return to pre-COVID-19 levels of output.
The main factors influencing the performance during the review quarter included strengthening of consumer confidence, as well as relatively high levels of employment, which supported increased levels of domestic demand for goods and services. Growth in the economies of Jamaica's major trading partners, which supported external demand, and the challenges associated with a fire at Petrojam refinery in March 2024, which negatively impacted production during the review quarter, and a fall in business confidence, as less firms believe that the climate is good for investment.
For the first 6 months of 2024, the economic performance is slightly better, with real GDP estimated to have grown. This reflects 1.3% growth for the goods producing industry and 0.7% for the services industry. Meanwhile, revenues from the information technology IT services market in Jamaica has seen significant growth in the last few years, and this is forecasted to continue. That's according to the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill.
In 2018, we had 82.28 million. In 6 years later, 2024, that had grown by 67% to 137.64 million. We expect that figure to grow to 176.58 million. So from 2018 to 2029, that will be increased by 115% to 176.58 million US dollars.
Senator Hill was speaking at Resolve IT Limited's recent 20th anniversary celebration. He says the export of ICT services per capita in Jamaica is projected to reach 47.17 million US dollars this year. The minister stresses that the industry provides an opportunity for Jamaica to be an important player in leading markets as it contributes to the development of niche areas where the island has a competitive edge.
These niches will be located within a range of sectors including financial services, offshore banking, insurance, registering and administering legal limited liability partnerships, and related legal institutions.
109 fisherfolk in White House, Westmoreland are the latest to receive relief vouchers as part of the Ministry of Fisheries' ongoing efforts to support communities recovering from Hurricane Beryl. An additional 40 vouchers were allocated to fisherfolk in the neighboring community of Scott's Cover. The initiative is an extension of the ministry's broader relief intervention, which has already delivered similar support to 127 fishers in Clarendon and 104 in St. Elizabeth.
Every week for the past 3 weeks, we have been on the road in fishing communities offering some support to our fishers. We are going to be moving to ensure that your life as fishers are better.
In addition to the voucher distribution, the minister reintroduced the electronic licensing regime, IRIFINS. This allows fishers to manage their licensing and registration entirely online.
You don't even have to leave your yard to go to the office to apply. If you have your smartphone, you can stay at your house and you can apply for your license, apply to register online. And all of that can be processed, and you can get back not only your license in a week. In a week, you can also get an electronic copy of your registration and license on your phone. So you can literally take out your phone and show that you are a licensed and registered fisher.
Meanwhile, government's Rebuild Jamaica initiative continues to provide monetary support for persons whose homes were damaged during Hurricane Beryl. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security handed out cash grants to affected residents of St. Thomas. Portfolio Minister Perlin Charles Jr. urged the recipients to speedily utilize the assistance.
Make sure that this case, which is an emergency case, once you get your check, you make sure you use your check as quickly as possible to get the material or get whatever you need to get done.
Government, through the Ministry of Education and Youth, is redoubling efforts to ensure that all students with special needs have access to education. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has urged the ministry to seek out those persons and place them in the school system. This is in keeping with the government's mandate to promote greater inclusivity. Mr. Holness points out that there is an annual budgetary allocation for children with special needs, which amounted to $3 billion allocated to the Education Ministry this financial year.
This includes developing special programs, special materials for learning. We have special schools that we sponsor, sometimes up to 100% of fees. And now we have been paying shadows and teaching support for students who need this kind of individualized attention for learning. No child should be denied access to education because of any need that they may have, which is not considered to be within the normal range.
The Prime Minister was addressing students, staff and parents at the Hope Valley Experimental School in St. Andrew on Monday. According to Mr. Holness, using policies within the ministry, the administration will, as far as possible, integrate students with special needs into the mainstream education sector. But to facilitate this, he maintains that education must be structured in a way that caters to the varying needs of students.
The inclusiveness is not to set them apart. It's not to treat them specially. The inclusiveness is to accept that we are not all the same. We're not going to all learn at the same pace. We have different needs. And the system must adjust to the needs that the population presents.
And finally, 2 students are starting the new academic year with laptops in tow, thanks to Prime Minister Andrew Holness fulfilling a promise he had made recently. The students, Ramelia Cottrell of Glenmere High and Christine Givens of Fogar Road High, both approached the Prime Minister while he was on a visit in their community. Mr. Holness, who was on assignment to deliver a home in northwestern Clarendon under the new social housing program, promised the young ladies that he would make it happen. He upheld that promise early this week.
It gives me great pleasure to present to you this lovely HP laptop. And here you go. Oh, you see, you hug up that laptop. I hope it will help you in your studies. I'm sure it will.
On the same day, the Prime Minister also gifted the Nurses Association of Jamaica, NAJ, with 10 laptops. President of the NAJ, Dawn Marie Richards, says most of the devices will go to students who are in need. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.